Welcome to Nexus. I'm Wanda Allen-Abraha, the Director of the Human Relations Department. We are excited to have the opportunity to bring you today's program. The Human Relations Department enforces and encourages fair treatment and equal rights for the citizens of the City of Winston-Salem. The Human Relations Department has three key areas of responsibility. They are investigating housing discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, disability, family status, and gender, mediating landlord-tenant complaints, and conducting cultural diversity education and inclusion training and outreach. This television program is a part of our education and outreach efforts. All Nexus television programs feature community partners. During this episode, we will focus on September as the city's Cultural Awareness Month. Our guests today are Human Relations Commissioner Sylvia Durant from the International Village Food and Musical Festival Planning Committee and Pauline Morris from the Winston-Salem Building Integrated Communities Stakeholder Committee. Now, let's join Adolfo Briceño of our staff who will interview today's guests.
Thank you, Wanda, and thank you all for being with us in this edition of Nexus. Now, one of our first guests of the show is Ms. Sylvia Durant. She's Director of Corporate and Foundation Relations at Wake Forest University. Thank you very much, Cynthia. Commissioner Durant is also part of our Human Relations Commission, and we're going to be talking today about International Village. Thank you, Sylvia, for being with us and for sharing your thoughts and impressions with us.
I'm so glad to be here, Adolfo. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. So wonderful. So let's talk about International Village. Tell me a little bit of what are we trying to achieve this year with International Village and the Music Food Festival?
So basically, as you know, the event will be held on September 9th at Corpening Plaza downtown. Really, this is a celebration of the international backgrounds and heritage of Winston-Salem and its residents, and a way to bring people together in community to really honor the traditions that are here and present in the community.
Wonderful. What kind of activities is the committee planning for this edition of? Give us an example.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I think obviously there is global cuisine, which is part of it, many people's favorite, but also we will have cultural entertainment, including music performances, dance, a whole host of opportunities in that space, arts and crafts for purchase, and also we will have educational information that will help people understand some of the resources available within the community in terms of multiculturalism and internationalism.
Look at that.
Also, another exciting element is we will have an international food contest, and maybe we could both be judges, I would hope.
I hope.
I hope. And then a youth art contest, and of course the U.S. naturalization ceremony will be part of the event as well.
Look at that. For those who do not know, but last year there was also a naturalization ceremony. I think it was the very first time, and I think it was a very worthwhile event that we had there. But so there's going to be a competition, a food competition?
That is my understanding.
Wow.
I don't know all the details yet, but I don't like to miss a food competition.
There you go. That would
Yes.
be also quite a sight to see. Here in Winston-Salem, we can eat so many things from so many different places, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We can have, of course, Greek food, we can have Chinese food, and Indian food, and Mexican food, and Jamaican
Thai
food,
and
Thai food. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. Now, tell me a little bit about all those sponsors or those individuals, organizations that have been involved in the festival so far.
Of course. So U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are obviously a partner in this in terms of the naturalization ceremony.
Yes.
They will be helping us to kick off the day at the beginning with that ceremony, which will involve about 20 different individuals who are getting their citizenship that day. Also, a partner is the Forsyth County Library. Well, they will actually be doing a Lantern of Hope festival, which or an event at the end of the festival that relates to Japanese traditions. So that will close up the day.
Look at that. I remember, I think last year they also did it, and it's a very nice thing. They light up like lamps.
Yes.
It is for world peace or something. It's also a very, very nice event. Now, in general, Sylvia, what is the expectation with International Village? Is there something that wants to be achieved that we can communicate to the public?
Yes, absolutely. I think, building understanding between all aspects of our community, understanding that there are people from many different backgrounds residing here in Winston-Salem, whether they're from regions of Africa or regions of Asia, and the richness of those cultural traditions that they bring with them and what we can learn from those cultural traditions.
Absolutely.
Is very powerful.
Yes. Is it open and free to the public?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes. So, and we hope that you all will join us.
I hope so too. Last year we had a very, very good, probably 4,000 or 5,000 people. All in all came to the festival.
That is wonderful.
We were very, very pleased with that. And Sylvia, and just to wrap up the conversation, is there a general message that you would like to give to the population regarding our event on International Village?
Well, I think as someone who's lived overseas and had the opportunity to experience other cultures firsthand, I think that the experience of interacting with people from other cultures and experiencing them firsthand is really powerful. So those who live here in Winston-Salem have a great opportunity to experience something in terms of cultural background, arts, music, food, every aspect of culture, and meet some amazing people in the process, which I hope will help us to understand one another better and to build a stronger sense of community in an already amazing city.
Right. With that, and you don't have to leave North Carolina or the United States for that matter.
Exactly, exactly.
Well, thank you very much for your time. And folks, you heard it. The event is going to be the 9th of September in Corpening Plaza. It's free and open to the public. And I hope to see you guys all there. Thank you again, Sylvia Durant. Sylvia Durant is a Human Relations Commissioner, and she is also Director of Corporate and Foundation Relations at Wake Forest University. Thank you for being with us. And thank you all for being with us. And we'll come right back with our next segment in Nexus.
Playground. Just add water. And kids.
I sell a lot of greens, a lot of kale, collard, cabbages, broccoli, a lot of head lettuces, cut leaf lettuce, arugula, and then the roots we have beets, carrots, turnips, radishes. I really enjoy selling at the farmers market because you have that direct interaction with the customers, and it means a lot to get the feedback, somebody really likes something or somebody doesn't know what to do with it, then we're able to have that conversation. I learn a lot every day. It's always different. I'm working outside, I'm working with my hands, and I can see a project from the beginning to the end, so it's very rewarding in that way. So the grocery store experience, everything looks so perfect and wonderful, but it doesn't taste as perfect as wonderful as something from the market. So the market might come with all kinds of imperfections, but when you bite into it, it really tastes like what your grandparents ate and what your great-grandparents ate. There's like there's a difference. And I'd say just come out and try it and taste for yourself.
Shop fresh, shop local, shop at the Fairgrounds Farmers Markets, Saturday 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Local farmers, local food. Now accepting SNAP EBT.
Well, thank you for still being with us. In our second segment of this edition of Nexus, we have Pauline Morris. She is the former director at the International Center of Foresight Tech, a very well-known person in the community. Thank you very much, Pauline, for being with us.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. Pauline, we're going to be talking a little bit about BIC. BIC is the acronym, right, for Building Integrated Communities. Please explain us a little bit what this initiative is all about.
This was an initiative that was begun by UNC at Chapel Hill, and it was for the civic advancement to help with educational and economic advancement of immigrants. And therefore in 2014, the City of Winston-Salem Human Relations Commission was awarded a grant to work with them on a project. And I will explain that project a little farther on.
Wonderful. Tell us about the project. What does it entail?
Well, it started out being basically finding out what are the service gaps in the immigrant community. And once that was discovered, then they began to form an integrated, synthesized central information, not a center, but really information area that could later be housed in various places in the community. And it has been evolving as we continued to work on it, and when we realized it really needed to be online because it changes so often.
Right.
And so then we began working with 211 and CityLink, and finally we were putting it on the website of Winston-Salem so that it could be expanded and people from all over the community could see it.
I see.
And so it's basically an information resource for newcomers to the community, but it also was with the idea of somehow helping the immigrants integrate into the community
Right.
and building an understanding of these various cultures that we have here now.
Wonderful. Yes, for those people that have never heard of BIG, that is more or less like the idea of BIG. Easing or helping the integration of newcomers into the fabric of the city and of the
Right.
culture and of America eventually. Right. Now, tell us, what is the BIG pipeline?
The pipeline is really a information powerhouse of all the resources in the city. And so it is held quarterly for newcomers to Winston-Salem. Now, they do not have to be immigrants. They can be a newcomer from another part of the states. But it gives information on all of the life skill, high impact areas within the city of Winston-Salem. And because it is held quarterly, people who are coming in during the year can come and learn about Winston-Salem and where they can go for anything they may need.
I see. Yes, thank you. So the BIG pipeline is basically informational sessions. Can we say that?
Yes, that's true, but it
Basically,
also is explaining how the community works.
Yes.
So that people who have had no background in American culture can begin to understand how to integrate.
Right. That's important for someone that's a newcomer, right? To begin that understanding
Yes.
of how the whole system that we are immersed in works, correct?
Correct.
That understanding is not, I mean, it has to be learned. It is not sometimes obvious, right, how the system works. We have to learn.
Sometimes very different.
Yes. Now, do you have the website now, Pauline?
I do.
Okay.
And it is very easy. It's amazingly easy, just like all the information from BIC. And that is www.WSBIC, which is Winston-Salem BIC.
Right.
.com.
.com.
I'm always wanting to say it in Spanish.
That's fine, that's fine. Thank you. So now the audience that we want to reach is basically immigrants. Now, how do you see this program evolving in the following years, Pauline? Do you see changing a little bit, or the way it has been conceived that's how it's going to stay?
Oh, it will continue to evolve. The community, the Human Relations Commission is working with all the agencies that work on a regular basis with the immigrant community. As one sees the community changing and perhaps different needs evolving, then obviously this will change also. And a good thing about these information sessions is because some immigrants come in with a lot of understanding of online and how to use telephones and
Yes, yes,
technology.
yes.
Others come in with no information, having lived in refugee camps for many years.
I see.
And in these sessions, they will be helped, or they will be directed to other people who can help them.
I see. Wonderful. Well, this is a great initiative, and I hope it can achieve that what it's looking for, which is to better integrate the newcomers into the fabric of our city and of our society.
I think it really is something that is so special that a person who's lived there for a long time would also learn a lot by going on the website and scrolling through the various entities that are there, like education, faith-based, all of the parts of Winston-Salem are there,
Right.
and they can learn a lot by that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for explaining to us what is this big initiative, Pauline. Thank you very much. This was Pauline Morris. She is the former director of the International Center of Foresight Tech. Thank you very much, Pauline, for your time. And now we'll go with Jamie and the Nexus Challenge.
Thanks, Adolfo. I'm Jamie Waldeck, and this is the Nexus Challenge, where we test your knowledge about fair housing laws. Our first question: Susie has been diagnosed with severe depression and is disabled as defined by the Fair Housing Act. Her doctor prescribed Susie a dog to help alleviate some of her symptoms. Susie asked her landlord if she can have a dog as a reasonable accommodation for her disability. Which is the appropriate response? Is it A, yes, but Susie will need to pay a $250 pet deposit? B, yes, but Susie needs to provide proof that the animal is trained and certified to be a service animal? Or C, none of the above? The answer is C, none of the above. The landlord cannot charge Susie a pet deposit for her animal because it is not a pet, but rather a service/companion animal required for disability. Further, the landlord cannot ask for proof that the animal is trained. Here's our next question. Which of the following people would be protected under federal fair housing law? Is it A, a divorced female who is a single parent, B, a 35-year-old single Muslim man, C, a 50-year-old white man, or D, all of the above? The answer is D, all of the above. Everyone is protected by the Federal Fair Housing Act as long as the discrimination is based off of one of the 7 protected classes: race, color, religion, sex, handicap, family status, and national origin. And here's our last question. If a tenant violates his lease and the landlord has solid grounds for eviction, the landlord should give the tenant a second chance if A, the resident is a member of a protected class and the landlord is worried the tenant will sue for discrimination, B, the landlord is good friends with the tenant and wants to give him a break, or C, the landlord gives all tenants a second chance in the same situation. The answer is C. Landlords should treat their tenants consistently when holding them accountable for breaking the rules. If a tenant violates his lease, the landlord may give him a second chance only if he gives all tenants a second chance in the same situation. And that's this month's Nexus Challenge. I'm Jamie Waldeck. Now let's go back to Wanda.
Thank you, Jamie. Before we go, here's a look at some upcoming events. We hope you enjoyed the program. Thank you for watching Nexus. I'm Wanda Allen Abraha. See you next time.